In today's Girl Emerge podcast episode, we're diving deep into one of the most important topics for any entrepreneur, and that is financial mastery. Guys, today we're talking about budgeting like a pro, mastering inventory management like a pro, and how to scale your business without burning out. Something we're all struggling with, I assume. Whether you're just getting started or if you already have some business experience under your belt, this episode is exactly for you because it's packed with actionable tips and tons and tons and tons of pro advice to help you manage your money, plan smartly, and grow your business sustainably. All right, guys, so you know the routine. Get your tea, your coffee, your smoothie, or even your water. Get your notepads and your pen, and let's dive right on in. Hello, fabulous people. Welcome back to the Girl Emerge podcast, your one-stop shop for all things business, empowerment, and of course, a good dose of fun. I'm your host, Michelle Hill, and today we're tackling something that can be a game changer for your business. That's right. We're talking about financial mastery, which is budgeting, inventory management, and scaling your business, in my eyes, just like a boss. Let me say that again. Just like the boss that you are. All right. Now, before you think, Michelle, finances are so boring. Listen, I'm here to tell you that today's episode is anything but boring. We're going to make money talk exciting, fun, and most importantly, easy to understand. Because guess what? Financial mastery is really the secret sauce to long-term success. If you don't have a hold on your finances when it comes to your business and operating your business, you have already lost. I promise you that. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in this episode. Are you ready? All right, so let's dive in. Segment 1, we're going to be talking about budgeting like a pro. No more guesswork, guys. No more guesswork. I want to give you examples of how I did it in my hands-on business. All right. Let's start with the bread and butter of financial success, budgeting. Now, I know some of y'all think budgeting is like a diet for your money. You think of it as being restrictive. You think of it as boring and something you can't wait to quit. But let me flip the script for you. Think of your budget as a way to empower yourself financially. It's not about limiting yourself. It's about taking control of your money so that you can spend, you can save, and you can invest strategically. So think of it in this way. Your budget is actually your financial blueprint. It tells your money where to go. It tells your money what to do. All right. And instead of leaving things to chance, it is the best journey for your money. It is the best thing for your situation as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Because what happens is, guys, it's automatically going to eliminate the stress of trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. So let's break that down a little bit. Here's how I want you to start looking at creating a rock solid budget. Step 1 is knowing your numbers. The first step to budgeting like a boss is knowing exactly what's coming in and what's going out. Knowing exactly what is happening with your money. Where exactly is your money going? What exactly is your money doing when it comes in and then when it goes out? So that's knowing exactly what's coming in and exactly what's going out. Grab a notebook, your laptop or anything like that. You can even open up an app like Mint or QuickBooks or even Wave is another good one, and track your income and your expenses. I personally use Wave. Every sale, every expense, every latte, guys, put it all down. Write it out. Because what I need you to start doing is getting into a rhythm when it comes to the money flow, the cash flow of your business. Again, money coming in, we need to know what happens when that money is going out and where it's going. That's all you need to know. I can wrap this whole entire episode up just with that information. Okay, so this is going to give you a really clear picture of your cash flow. So step 2, which I think is very important, is planning for your business growth. So next, you're going to set aside funds for the actual growth of your business. Guys, when you're in a first level stage of your business, I know it looks really good. It feels really good when the money is coming in and you feel like you don't have to do anything with it. Oh, this is free money. I've already done all the hard work. I've already made the products. I've already put whatever the ebooks out there or whatever it is. But once the money starts coming in, guys, there's a certain percentage of that you have to reinvest in order to keep this operation going. So especially when you're at the first and second level of your business, the first and second stage, you have to have a certain percentage of that money going back into the business. And chances are it's going to be a very big percentage. So whether it's marketing, whether it's new tools or hiring, always budget for the future. Successful businesses don't just operate in the now. They plan ahead. Okay? They plan ahead. That was something that I really struggled with in the beginning with Honey Milk. I was just excited about starting a business, and my little project for saving my son's system turned into an actual business. But I really didn't plan for it. I didn't know I should plan for it. I wasn't thinking about the growth of the business. I was just buying a little thing here and a little thing of shea butter there, and then turning it into a business. But then I had to start being a little bit more smart. I had to start thinking about how is it that I am going to really streamline this business? How am I going to make it seamless? What is the flow for my business? What are the mechanisms of operation? And so I remember looking at my little curing rack that I put together, and I started thinking about it. What was the flow for my business? What did I want to happen? And it didn't just stop with one post here and a word of mouth advertisement there. It was new tools. It was the marketing. It was putting money back into supplies, into ingredients, because I had to keep going. So plan ahead. It's very important that you plan ahead. So next, we're going to go to step 3, and that is allocate funds for savings and investments. Always, always pay yourself first. Always pay yourself first. Guys, when I tell you, it doesn't matter if it's $5, it doesn't matter if it's $25, it doesn't matter if it's $100. Whenever you make a certain amount of money for a specific time period, take a percentage for yourself. But this needs to be a consistent percentage. All right? So always, always pay yourself first. You can set aside money for savings, for business investments, and anything for unexpected cost. But you always have to pay yourself first and set aside the rest of the money for other things as it pertains to your business, because it creates a safety net for your business while giving you the funds you need to reinvest into the business. That's a part of step 2, planning for the growth of your business. One goes with the other. There is no way that you can continue moving forward in a business if you are not planning for the future and you're not allocating the funds for what it needs to be allocated for. Now, pro tip, set a budget for each area of your business. Guys, with this point right here, I can completely finish the entire podcast and we can be done. Set a budget for each area of your business. This means a budget for marketing, a budget for inventory, a budget for operations, etc., etc. This way, you know exactly where your money is actually going, and you can adjust it as need be. Okay? Adjust it as needed. This is why understanding the importance of where your money is going, what it's doing when it gets there, is important. Okay? Again, this creates a safety net for your business while giving you the funds that you're going to need to reinvest into the business. Because what is the purpose of a business if you're not able to continue growing the business? Again, it feels really good when you get money for whatever it is that you're offering, whether it's a product or service, and it looks like free money. It looks like, oh my gosh, I've done the work, now I get paid. But no, there's only a certain percentage that you will want to take for yourself, and the rest has to be reinvested. All right? Again, guys, set a budget for each area of your business, whether it's marketing, whether it's operations, whether it's inventory, it's supplies, recipe, ingredients, whatever it is, because it's important that we get our budget under control. And once you've got your budget under control, you're really going to feel like a financial queen. And guess what, y'all? We're just getting started. All right, we are just getting started. So let's go on to the next segment, which is mastering inventory management, which is a must for product-based businesses. Honey Milk is a product-based business. It really is. And I cannot operate Honey Milk without my products. Honey Milk does not exist without my products and the quality of my products, having the consistency in my products, the consistency and the availability of certain products. It's just not going to exist. Okay, I have seen this a million times before. Once I run out of one thing and I continuously run out of it, they are going to go somewhere else and find it. Even though they love me, they like me, they know me, they trust me, they want to buy from me. But if I am not holding up my end of the bargain, saying that XYZ product is always going to be produced by me and available through me at the same quality that they received before, if I can't do that, trust me, they're going to find it elsewhere. So let's talk about one of the most important aspects of running a product-based business. And guys, that is inventory management. If you've got a physical product, managing your inventory is make or break. It is critical. Now, understand this concept and this fact actually. Too much inventory and you're tying up money in stock that's just sitting there. Too little inventory and you run the risk of running out of products when the demand spikes. So either way, it's all about finding the right balance. That is extremely critical. I cannot speak on this enough when it comes to having too much inventory. I've done it. Right now, we are at a point where I'm making smaller batches of certain products because even though they do sell, they sell much more slowly than the other products. I have specific soap bars that people are adamant about purchasing from me. They absolutely love I have Purpose soap. They love the I Am Royal soap because of the scent, because of the benefits of it. They love it because of the way it looks. They can't find it anywhere else with the same quality, the way it makes your body feel. Like they're going to come to me for it. So I always have to have those in stock because they are some of my number one sellers. So with that specific one, it is also still a way to have way too much of it. Why? Because it's a natural product. And eventually scent will start to fade. Even though they're essential oils, pure essential oils that's used to scent it, the scent will start to fade. So in one batch, I can produce anywhere from let's say 54 bars to 72 bars, right? And that's one 25 to 30 pound batch, depending on the mold that I use. And I have since switched to a smaller mold from the 70, I think it was 71, 72 bars, which my really big mold produces, down to a 22, I think it's 22 pound batch that produces a little over 50 something bars. Because they sell out at such a rate, I can now manage it. I've made 1 million bars so far. I'm over exaggerating, but I've made tons of bars. And so now it's at a point where I know that I can make a certain amount, and in a certain time frame, it's going to sell out, and I can already have another batch going and on the curing racks curing. So by the time that one batch sells out, the other one is already curing, so on and so forth. So it sells out in a certain amount of time. The scent is still there. The quality is, of course, there. The quality is actually even better the longer the bar cures, but the scent. So certain things about having too much stock that you really have to think about and manage the amount that you make, manage the amount that you produce when it comes to an inventory that is based on physical products. Okay? Again, too much, you're tying up stock that's just sitting there, and too little, you may end up running out when the demand spikes. You have to find a balance. So what exactly is inventory management? What is it? In simple terms, it's really about keeping track of what products you have, how much stock you need as well, and when to reorder. And let me tell you guys, having a good handle on this can save you a ton of stress and money. I know all too well. I think I can do an entire episode on inventory management from start to finish, because when I first started my business, I had no clue about what was going to sell well. I had no clue about the importance of keeping things in stock, especially my ingredients, so that I can continue to make products. I had no clue about the flow of my business, and had no clue about how to watch inventory diminish and when to restock things and have things available for a new launch or a new restock. All right. So let's talk about how you can stay on top of your inventory like an absolute pro. Number one, you're going to use inventory management software. And again, this is for people that have product-based businesses. You're going to want to find the best inventory management software. And guys, there are so many great tools out there like TradeGecko. You have Sin7. I forget the other ones. You have, Craft Maker Pro or something like that. I specifically use Soap Maker 3 because with that one, as a soap maker, I have tons and tons of activities that I can do in that software to help me manage inventory, helps me to manage my recipes, my supplies, like everything. So that one just works really well for me. You can even use simple spreadsheets to keep track of your stock levels. All right. This will give you real-time updates on what you have, what's running low, and when to reorder. That is the best scenario for a product-based business. And it makes life so much easier, guys. It makes running your business so much fun when you have a good hold on everything. You can oversee the foundation of your business to make sure that it's stable. Okay, so the next thing, which is so important, a little bit about what we talked about with inventory management, is the ABC analysis. And this is number 2. The ABC analysis is really a great way to prioritize your inventory. So A, B, C. Think of it in this way. A items are your best selling. They're the high priority products. They absolutely need to stay in stock. Just like the soaps that I just talked about, Purpose and I Am Royal. And then your B items are moderate movers, and Those are the ones that they're like the yellow, they're caution, proceed with caution type situation. They go a little bit slower, not such high priority because your customers don't necessarily gravitate to them. They're not the items that they just absolutely have to have. There's some of the items that they're purchased, but they're skipped over. And then you have your C items that are the slow movers. I have a bit of C movers and I have a bit of B movers, and I also have a ton of A movers. And I take this list every single year and I do everything that I can to eliminate a lot of the C movers because they're just a waste of money at some point. When I see that my numbers are going lower and lower and lower from people purchasing every year specific products, I just do away with it. I do away with it. And then it does not make a dent in anything because the customers never come back and ask for it. You may get one or two stragglers that, hey, remember you used to sell this? You don't sell it anymore. I did have that. I had a lot of this when I switched from using fragrance oils completely to primarily using essential oils in my soap, lotions, body butters, everything. I had quite a few people that were irritated because I did not sell certain scents anymore. Now, there are a few people that I still make certain things for using fragrance oils. I don't like to do that, but I do it because they've been so supportive and they just absolutely have to have specific products. I'll do it for them. Now, I'll do it in a way where I would have to make them their own small batches of them. And I don't put it on my website. I send them an invoice to pay for it that way. Okay, so when it comes to the ABC analysis, you're going to focus your attention on keeping A items fully stocked, reduce C items or C item orders to avoid having that excess. All right, so the third point in staying on top of your inventory like a pro is do not, under any circumstances, overstock. Again, guys, this is about managing your inventory. Okay, and we're in a time right now where people are just not buying as much as they used to because money is tight. Money is very funny right now in our economy. And as tempting as it might be to order a ton of inventory just in case, in quotation marks, overstocking can really hurt your cash flow. Now, instead, what you want to do is plan out your inventory based on past sales trends, and seasonal spikes. So you'll free up cash to invest in other areas of your business while still meeting the demand. The goal is to free up cash because in every business you have to have a cash flow. If you don't have a cash flow, you've already failed. All right. Now, managing your inventory, means you'll always be ready for those big sales while keeping your cash flow extremely healthy. Now, this is one of those financial pieces that can take your business from surviving to thriving. And that is the goal. Okay. Now that we've got a handle on your budget, let's talk about scaling. Now, budget and inventory is one thing, guys. Once you have a really good hold on that, it's time for the fun part. It's time for scaling. Oh my gosh, I have scaled about 3 times so far. And I don't count the little scaling. I count the big scaling, and we're going to talk about that. So segment 3 is about scaling your business sustainably. Scaling your business sustainably. Because guys, listen, burnout is not an option. It's not an option. We're not doing that in this season. We are not burning out. We're going for the seamless route. All right, ladies, let's talk about growth, scaling your business. But listen, we're not just talking about growing for growth's sake. We're talking about sustainable growth. because you don't want to build something amazing only to burn out halfway through, right? Now, when it came to scaling in my business, I'm going to give you an example of what scaling is on a very elementary level. I want you to really understand what it is. We're not going to get technical with scaling because it is not technical. It is not rocket science, and it is not technical. So when I first started my business, which back then it was called Kissed by Coco, it is now called Honey Milk. When I started Kissed by Coco, of course, I was very green. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew how to make a batch of soap. I purchased ingredients off of this lady from Craigslist. She had a bin filled with ingredients because she was pregnant. She was going to be delivering a baby, and she was not going to be able to make soap any longer. So she sold me this bin for $50. It had everything that I could possibly need to start making my first batch of soap. And once I ran out of those little testers and small 4-ounce bottles, I ordered more 4-ounce bottles of scents that I knew I wanted to use, of ingredients that I wanted to use. I started with like 1 pound block of shea butter, a little thing of coconut oil, which was probably about 10 ounces or something like that. I started with vegetable shortening from Walmart, just small containers of stuff, guys, nothing humongous. And from there, that was the first time. So I continued to buy those same sizes until I really started to get a little bit more traffic in my business. And I did that for about a year. And once I started developing a love for it and I understood the concept of marketing my business, I started to do certain tasks as it pertained to marketing, and my business started to grow. It started to pick up a little bit, but it still did not mean that I needed to go out and buy all these, like expensive things or an abundance of supplies. I just needed to buy supplies in order to keep what I was doing at the certain level going. So I was still buying the 4-ounce fragrance oil bottles, the 1 pound of shea butter, the 1 pound of cocoa butter. Back then, things were reasonably priced in my eyes. And then from there, I let it run for about a year and a half. And then once I noticed that my little 11 bar batches were selling out or close to selling out, I said, you know what? I think I need to make this stuff a little bit faster. I need to have a little bit more of the result, meaning the fruit of my labor. I needed to not only make little 5 pound soap batches, I need to make 10 pounds. And so what I wanted to do at that point was double it. So I invested a little bit more into a couple of more soap molds, maybe 2 more 5 pound soap molds. I invested in doubling the 1 pound cocoa butter and shea butter, and then I started to get like little 5 pound pails of coconut oil. And I did that for the next 3 to 4 years. That was still small, but I scaled up a little bit. So that's an example. And then once my business really took off, once I started to understand the concept of having a system, then it really took off, and I understood marketing, and I started talking to people more. I started doing markets and things like that, and my business grew even more. And so instead of just 2 little molds, 5 pound molds, I started making 4 to 6 molds. And I got even more molds, and I changed the design of my soap. I changed the sizes of my soaps because of packaging, and I wanted it to look different, and I wanted it to be, I wanted to stand out. And so at that point, once I tripled my molds, I received my supplies in, I tripled my molds, and now I'm making 6 batches of my 5 pound soap batches. And now I'm getting 5 pounds of coconut oil, 5 pounds of shea butter, 5 pounds of cocoa butter, 5 pounds of mango butter. You know what I mean? I increased my inventory in the way of scaling up on my recipe so that I can make larger batches, buying larger batches of ingredients, and now I'm playing the game of finding the better prices for things, the better scenarios. And so I stopped shopping at my local supermarket for most of my ingredients, and I went full time into shopping at certain types of distribution centers or vendors that solely sold soap making supplies. And I shopped around for the best deal. I even created a spreadsheet to do side by side comparisons. And so now I'm scaling, and the third scale, I would say about the third or fourth scale, I bought even bigger amounts of ingredients. And so I went up to 14-pound pails, and then it went up to, it was a fourth scale up. After the 14-pound pails of shea butter, of coconut oil, and all the things, I scaled up to the 5-gallon pails, and that's where I am now. And I scaled back down a little bit because of the economy. I didn't quit, but I scaled down. So you have to be able to play the game. But if you don't know your numbers, you're not going to know where you're going. If you don't understand the flow of your business and the demand and need of your business, supplies and things like that, you're not going to go anywhere. I promise you that. But you have to understand the economics of your business. You have to understand the logistics of your business in order to get it all right, and to know when it's time to scale, how you're going to scale, the best option for scaling. Because I promise you guys, scaling your business is all about growing in a way that's strategic and intentional and foundational. It has to be built to last. It's not just about doing more work or anything like that. It's about setting up systems. It's about automating where you can. And it's about growing your team so that your business can actually flourish while you stay sane, because it can drive you crazy. It can really drive you crazy. So let's talk real quick about how to scale smartly. Number one is you're going to create systems, and you're going to automate those systems. Because let's be honest, you cannot scale without systems. Just like I just told you, you cannot scale without systems. Whether it's automating your sales process or setting up email marketing sequences, nurturing your audience, whatever it is that you have to do, using project management tools like Trello or Asana, use accounting tools like Wave, QuickBooks. Systems make everything run smoothly. Again, systems make everything run smoothly, and automation saves you time and energy that you can put back into growing your business. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's all about growing the business. It's not about making a couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there. And it's just not about that. It's not about making a couple of dollars here and a couple of dollars there, putting it in your pocket and feeling rich for a day. It's just not about that. Okay. So once I realized that I was running back and forth in my studio when I first got started, when I was at level 1 in my business, a sale would come in here, a sale would come in there on the online, an unexpected sale. I thought to myself, and I can imagine myself right now, I remember the day I was standing in front of my curing rack, and I was like, okay, Michelle, breathe. Listen, it was just like 1 or 2 sales, and I was like, breathe. Just stop and let's breathe. Because I was about to lose my little mind, because I'm a Virgo, so I'm very organized. I'm very organizational driven, if that's a word or phrase I can use. I wanted it to flow right. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense for me to move forward. It needs to flow. It needs to make sense, because I need to make sure I don't miss a beat. And so being seamless in my business became priority. So I thought about the whole process from start to finish, right? And I want you to imagine this for yourself. Think about the entire process that you want your customer to experience from start to finish. And then you're also going to think about what you need to do in order to feel satisfied at the end of that deal, at the end of that order going out, at the end of that, the phone call or the whatever, or once the invoice is paid, like whatever it is. Think about what you want that to be and draw some squares on a piece of paper and draw lines from one square to the other, to the other, to the other, okay? Until you get to the end result. So make a really big square at the end of the page and you draw some boxes alongside each other, however you want to do it, but everything needs to end up with arrows down to that end result. That end result, okay? Now, what you're going to do is put in there from start to finish everything that needs to happen in order for you to either make this sale or to deliver on the sale you just made. All right? Very important that you set this system up, guys. This is your, I would say, your money-making system or your fulfillment system. How are you going to fulfill this order that just came in? And the other part of that is, how are you going to build the foundation for the larger fulfillment of your business? How is your business flowing? What happens when, from the time you market to the time that your customer or potential customer sees your advertisement, what happens after that? They go to your website, or let's say like a couple of things can happen. They go to your website, they click, and from there, what happens? Or they inbox you and ask you questions. What happens then? You understand what I'm saying? Do you send them to your website? Do you give them a little bit of information? Do you provide them with the links right then and there? Customer service is everything. So I want you to think of it in the term of, or in the way of, customer service. Think of it in that way as well. Customer service. What is A1 customer service? What is A1? What is your idea of an A1 5-star high class customer experience? This is going back to your brand experience. This is where your brand comes into play. All right. So number 2, you're going to delegate and build a team. All right. Delegate and build a team. So as your business grows, you have to know that you really can't do everything yourself. And guys, when I tell you that is okay, that is A1 okay. Hire people or intern with people who can take over tasks that aren't in your zone of genius. Now, whether it's something like a virtual assistant, a social media manager, or a fulfillment team, you'll need to build a squad that you can trust. Who's your tribe? Where's your tribe? Where are they? What does your tribe consist of? Is it just you by yourself? And if it is, that system is going to be detrimental to your success. If you are your squad, if you are your tribe, having that fulfillment journey, that fulfillment spreadsheet, that fulfillment structure is going to make or break your business. If you are especially a solopreneur, okay? But either way it goes, you have to have a squad that you can trust. And if you don't have a squad, you have to have a very strong foundation in fulfillment. And you have to stick with it day in and day out. Okay? But you have to build a team and delegate to that team. And in order to delegate properly, you have to find people that you can trust and build them up. Remember, everybody's not going to come with what you need them to come with. It's your business. You train them up in the way that they should act. You train them up in the way that they should go. But more than anything in the world, more than all the things, guys, get you someone or a group of people that when you give them their position, when you tell them, hey, this is what I need you to do, I need you to do X, Y, Z, they have to feel like they have ownership over that job, that task. That way, they become that part of you. That is why it's so important to have a strong foundation in your business, because when you delegate a certain task that you used to do, it's going to be important that they take that on and they become you. They're going to run it like you would run it. Okay? So that's why having that foundation is important. You can't just be out there winging it, y'all, especially when you're by yourself. You can't just be winging it, because people are coming. If your business is going to grow, people are coming to help you. You're going to pay people to help you. You're going to intern with people, and they need to be able to do it the way you do it. So having it written out in written form, having it, from a system that they can look back at and say, oh, okay, this is the way she did it, especially in your absence. Very important, guys. The foundation is very important. Build a team, delegate to that team, but you have to build that foundation in order to train them up in the right way. And you need to be able to trust them. They need to become your tribe. All right. So number 3 is focusing on high impact areas. Now, when scaling, it's important that you prioritize activities that will bring the most impact. Focus on high impact areas that's going to bring the most impact. Those activities, you have to prioritize them. So whether it's launching something like a new product, or expanding your business into new markets, or even increasing your marketing efforts, it's imperative that you focus on areas that's going to drive significant growth. All right? Guys, I want you to understand that scaling is a marathon. It's not a sprint. The ultimate goal of your business is to scale, to grow, to get bigger, to become a Nike corporation, to become, Dick's Sporting Goods Corporation, to become one of these big organizations. Now, if that is not your goal, then that's fine. But you need to be one hell of a, you need to be an amazing little business, the little engine that could. That's what you need to be. If you're going to stay small, but stay strong. You have to be a force to reckon with as a small business, as a growing business. Even if you don't want to grow big like that, that's fine. But if you are going to be in existence, it needs to be a very powerful existence. It's about building a strong foundation, guys, that can really handle growth, rather than pushing yourself to the limit. You know what I mean? Like, take your time and scale at your own pace. Because at the end of the day, we're here for sustainable success. Not some fly-by-night, I'm rich, look at me, look at all my pictures on Instagram and Facebook. Like, it's not about that. We want to build foundational success. Nothing can rock that foundation. So let's talk about your financial mastery blueprint. We're going to recap today's episode and create your financial mastery blueprint. Number 1, you budget like a boss. It's important, guys, that you're tracking your expenses and your income. It's important that you're planning for your growth, and you always pay yourself first. Next, you're going to master your inventory management. Master your inventory management. Again, it's imperative that you stay on top of your stock levels, guys. You want to avoid overstocking, and you want to use inventory tools. That's going to help you keep everything running smoothly. Okay. Next, you scale sustainably. Automate, delegate, and focus on high impact areas for smart, sustainable growth. Ladies, listen, financial mastery isn't about perfection. It's not. It's just not. It's really more than anything about progress. Budgeting, managing that inventory, and scaling your business, they are all key to making sure you're not just growing, but you are actually thriving. You are successfully thriving. You are genuinely and authentically thriving, and you are intentionally thriving. That is the only way you're going to grow. And trust me, guys, with these types of strategies in your back pocket, you will be unstoppable. You will be unstoppable. Okay? That's it for today's episode of the Girl Emerge podcast. I hope you're feeling excited. I hope that you're ready to tackle your finances, ladies, streamline your inventory, and scale your business like the queen that you are. I hope you're ready. And if you found value in today's episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with your entrepreneurial friends who could also use some financial mastery in their lives. Listen, please don't forget to join our Girl Emerge Facebook group where we continue these types of conversations and help each other grow as the boss women we're destined to be. Until next time, ladies, stay bold, stay focused, and keep emerging into your greatness. Bye.